Let's take a look at how we can create KML right in Google Maps. So I'm logged into Google Maps with my account. I've already logged into Gmail. If I'm in Gmail, I can just click on Maps right on the top here, and that gets me into Google Maps. So here we are looking at the Google Maps interface. If I'm logged in, notice I have the My Maps option in the upper left. Let's click on that. Let's go into My Maps. So My Maps is an area where we can add our own KML content, and where we can also browse several samples that are available out there. There are the samples. Let's create a map. So I'm creating a map, and I can either draw features in from scratch or I can import. So I've got the KML that I created in the first week of the course. Let's hit import. We can either browse for it, or if we have it posted on the web, we can open it directly from a URL. But I've got a local copy, so we'll just browse for it. So click browse, and let's go to where I have it saved, and there it is. So let's open up the one where let's see what it is. So we open it up, and it's going to zoom us right to it once it's imported it. So we'll also have all the features in it available. So here we are, we're zoomed right into Amherst. So this is the one where I drew in sample building and path and a place mark. So they all show up. I'm in edit mode right now, so I have vertices on my polygon features and on my line features. So if I hover over them, I can see the vertices. These are anchor points that I can move. We can do that with the building here. We can move the corner a little bit, and we can stretch it. One thing about this is we're now in two-dimensional space, so any three-dimensional KML that you bring in gets flattened. So this is all flattened, so we do lose that. But let's go into one of the features and try to edit it. You'll find the features in the menu here. So if I scroll down here, let's see, where are they? Okay, yeah, they're down along the bottom, listed below my maps title. So if I click on the place mark that I made last week, here's the place mark, here's the content that I put in manually. Remember how it was in Google, or how it is in Google Earth? You've got to manually code the KML. Well, this has a nice interface here in Google Maps. Looks a lot like a word processor. We can do a lot of formatting without having to put in code manually. We can also put in images, so I just click the image button. The way the images work is they need to be in a web location, so they need to have a URL, which is convenient for us in this class because any images that we upload to our class site are going to have a URL. So let's find an image. Here's an image that I've uploaded to the class site. This is a postcard of Amherst, Massachusetts, I think it's from the 1800s. I'm just going to copy the URL. So we have that posted on our site, and I'm going to add that URL for that image. Hit OK, and there it is. It just drops it right in there. Now I can just take that image and drag it to where I want it. So the power of creating KML in Google Maps, you can see already, is that place mark formatting is much easier. So we've put an image in here. I can even do a hyperlink, so let's add a hyperlink. I'll have it so that the image hyperlinks to that same image, just because I'm being a little lazy here. You can have it hyperlink to any site, obviously. And I think that's going to look pretty good. Now let's change the place mark. The list of place marks looks about the same as in Google Earth. We do have the ability to add our own custom ones, but let's just add this flag instead. I think that looks a little better. And let's go back down to where it is. There it is. So, and let's delete the path that I created. So we'll take that out of there. So what we'll end up with is, yes, I do want to delete it. What we'll end up with is just the building and the revised place mark that I've made a flag out of and added an image to. We have a couple ways that you can export this out. Okay, so I've saved it. I'm all done with my editing. And Couple ways we can export KML out of Google Maps. One is that we can create a link to the map. Here's the link. If I click on that, that will give me a hyperlink to this map. I'm going to copy that. So if I get the hyperlink, I can add one command to the end of that hyperlink that's going to automatically generate a KML file. So there's the hyperlink. I've just pasted it into the browser, and I'm going to add ampersand output equals KML. I'll make sure I note that in the course site for us. If I add that and I hit go to go to it, it's going to open it up as a KML file. The Google's servers generate a KML file whenever you have that ampersand output equals KML. You might want to try this on some of your Google Maps, especially if you get directions or something. It's a nice way to get content out of there. Not everything will work, but most things will. Most things that have the link button will work. So here we're opening Google Earth. Let me show you, while Google Earth is opening, the other way that we can open this. So let's go back into edit mode. I'm going to go back into edit, and when I'm in edit mode, notice we have the opening Google Earth option right above. So that's even easier. Okay, so here we are. So you can see the buildings there, the place marks there, the flag. If we look at it in 3D, it's been squashed because Google Maps is two-dimensional, so all the extrusion of the building isn't there, the extrusion of the flag isn't there. But look, here's our image, and the image is hyperlinked, so it's going to open up that image. Very nice. So we can now go in, we can modify it further in Google Earth. So we can go into the building and re-extrude it. Let's go into the elevation and we'll re-extrude it a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. And then we'll extend it to the ground. And let's just lower the opacity so that we can see through it a little bit. So these are things we learned last week, but if you're generating stuff in Google Maps, you'll know you'll want to do the extrusion and the transparency setting once you have it in Google Earth.